Oh, Ubisoft. So, reportedly, Ubisoft are now currently in talks of a full-on buyout with Tencent trying to basically purchase the company. And with the way that Ubisoft has been going lately, and all their financial troubles and all their struggling game sales, and just how everything about that studio and that entire, that entire corporation has been lately, things just seem to get worse and worse and worse, and it doesn't seem to be any way out for them. So, honestly, the fact that there are talks and there are like plans being made to potentially have a buyout of the company doesn't shock me in the slightest. And apparently, the ones leading the charge for this buyout are currently Tencent, which at this point, I swear Tencent are going to own like 90% of the gaming industry with how much stuff they're buying. But what I kind of noticed by here on this article by PC Gamer is that the Ubisoft bio talks are reportedly progressing. But there is one small hitch. The Guillemot family wants to stay in charge. And this bit by here, I'm very uncertain about. Because basically, the folks in charge of Ubisoft are the ones responsible for all of Ubisoft's problems right now. I honestly do not see the buyout working if the family is still in charge. I genuinely do not see that happening. And I don't think there really has been a case where a company's been bought out and the current CEO remains CEO of the company. I don't think that's ever really happened before, really. At least not to my knowledge. But it's absolutely nutty how things have gotten with Ubisoft. And I've said it before, Ubisoft's entire problem, their entire issues can be sorted out just by changing up the management or even just the management style. They just need to do some tweaks to how they run the company, and the company, I'm telling you, would flourish. They just need to prioritize different things. So instead of prioritize the monetization, instead of prioritizing, always online DRM and people not owning their games, prioritize the quality of the game. Prioritize releasing stuff that people can play and love and just have passion for, just they need that's kind of like the big thing Ubisoft seems like it's lost in recent years is the passion. And that just needs to come back. If they were able to bring back the passion, if they're able to bring back all that stuff and start making games for the love of gaming and all that jazz, I'm telling you, Ubisoft would do so much better than they have been doing. And unfortunately, under the current leadership, I don't see that happening. And even then, under Tencent, I'm not sure if that would happen either, because that's the only real problem when it comes to like these mega corporations. At the end of the day, all they want to do is really make money. And there are ways you can do that while also releasing good products and stuff. But what I find more and more is a lot of these mega corporations, they start chasing growth over sustainability. And it's a big problem with capitalism overall, that a lot of companies have. Like, shareholders every year demand more and more growth, not realizing that growth is not sustainable. You cannot keep continuing to get more growth because you're going to hit a cap. And once you hit that cap, how else are you going to grow your earnings? How else are you going to grow your company? Well, it's simple. You start messing with the products to monetize them more heavily, and it's not really a sustainable model. It's such a shame that I see so many companies, mostly publicly traded companies, go down this rabbit hole. And I do understand why. It's what the shareholders want. They want to see growth over year, and it's just not a sustainable practice. It's just one of them things that I think these mega corporations and companies need to shy away from. They need to keep focusing on making profits, but not focus on just constant growth every single year. If they do grow in terms of their profits margins, great. If they make a loss on their profit margins, that's also not good. But there needs to be a balance, that's kind of like the big thing. And honestly, that sort of mentality, I believe, is at the root of most of these companies, most of these AAA studios that are releasing crap. That entire line of thinking is the root cause of almost everything, and it's such a shame because now they're starting to prioritize things that, you know, gamers in general, people like you and me, are just sick of, and it's a nightmare. And it's one of those things that's not going to change unless, say, Ubisoft were to either become a private company or the leadership in charge were to completely change up the strategy, which I just don't see happening. Anyway, yeah, Ubisoft in trouble once again. It's seems like a constant thing with them recently. I do hope that Ubisoft are able to actually come out of this and maybe learn some lessons. But to be honest, as days go on, this buyout is more and more likely happening, I reckon. And we're just going to have to see how things go. Maybe they'll be able to financially, fix themselves up a little bit by the time Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out. At the very least, I hope that whatever their new Rayman project is, I hope that doesn't get affected by anything, because I love my Limbless Wonder, and I don't want my Limbless Wonder to just disappear. But it's one of them things, like, Ubisoft is one of those frustrating companies. They can do so much good, and they kind of step on their own feet almost every step of the way. It's frustrating. But like I said, it goes for a lot of AAA companies. A lot of AAA companies share the exact same problems, and it's a shame. But, we'll have to see how things sort of progress with this going forward. I'm certainly curious what happens as things progress, so we'll have to check. But for now, thank you all for watching, folks. Don't be sheepish, and I shall catch you all again. Bye-bye.